Oh, hey there. Welcome to our party. How's life? Are you having a break from work? So do we. I was just telling everyone how I was making a couple projects through my diagram. How to save years of mistakes and create strategically correct projects right away. Look, here's a diagram through which I analyze any project. This is the questions about the project. What, for whom, repetitive problems, repetitive processes, user stories, architecture, and replacing every I with anyone. Whenever I get any project, I put every piece of information about it into the first question, into the what question. Here I describe everything I know about the project at all the details, everything I've heard, everything I was asked to do. I list all this information here. So I'm making a brainstorm of what this project has to be in general. Right? I put the most interesting points of this brainstorm into the branches that are lower in this list. Next, I go to the for whom step. Here I make a brainstorm about the client. I put all the information I know about the client, about his clients, about everyone who is going to use this product, about what they will be trying to do with it, everything I know about the end users. Okay, everyone who will be paying for this product will be described here, and I will duplicate the most interesting points of this brainstorm lower in the list. Then I go to the next step, repetitive problems. Here I describe all the repetitive problems that these users may face, okay, or the clients may face. Everything that occurs from time to time, all the obstacles, all the things they can't handle, all the things that don't allow them to grow, that kind of stuff. I'm describing all of this here. I am arranging these things a little bit to kind of figure out what problem depends on what, so that later I would work on the most important problems, and not on the problems that don't matter, for example, right? The most interesting points from this brainstorm also get duplicated lower in the list, okay? Next, I go to repetitive processes step. I want to describe here all the subsystems that my project will have. The repetitive processes, the things that will work from time to time and will, solve certain pieces of my project's goals. So at this point, I will describe every repetitive process, every system that does repetitively some actions, and I will also draw the connections between them to figure out what system depends on what. For example, which system cannot be launched without another system, right? I will draw these connections of which systems have to work, together, and I will look at these connections as well. Now that I know every piece of my puzzle, I open the next step, which is user stories. The user stories are basically a little story that sounds like this. When I do something, certain thing happens in the project. For example, when I click a button, this machine turns on. Or when I open the website page, I see this information. This comes from programming world. It's basically describing all the ways users interact with our project. So user sends the inputs into the system and he gets something in return. So when he does something, he gets something back. Like that's what user story is. This sentence that when I as a user do this, I get this result, right? There can be many user stories, and later I may arrange them up and down to make a better structure, to see like how these pieces will work together, like which pieces should launch simultaneously. I may draw some arrows that would denote how they are connected. The programmers, high-level programmers, would use this information to further develop automated tests of the system so that when they will be building the system, they would, use something called test-driven development to kind of first see what the system should do and only then implement these features. Next, I go to the architecture step. Here I will describe what programs I will use, what software, what machines I will use. Maybe I will, draw little data structures and database schemas, and maybe I will draw some like wiring diagrams, stuff like that. So here, this is the technical architecture. Basically, I already know what the system should do, so now my job is to pick the tools, describe them, and kind of describe how they will work together. And at this point, I will already understand the entire project. Okay, I didn't build anything yet, but I already see what it's gonna look like. Next, I go to the last step, which is the most important step, right? It says here I'm replacing every I with anyone, meaning whenever I have a user story that says when I click a button that machine turns on, I change it to be when anyone clicks this button that machine turns on, right? This is the most important step for scaling, for understanding what your system will become once you have a lot of users coming in and once they start using it intensively. Here you can predict all the bottlenecks. You can decide how to build this project so that a lot of users can use it. I know it's confusing. This diagram is confusing for me too, but it helps, okay? Over the years, many people asked me to make many confusing projects, and after enough projects, I kind of designed this diagram, and I'm now asking these questions in this order, and I'm making these little brainstorms in this direction, and this helps me to put any project in order and understand any kind of confusing task that I'm facing. You can just take a picture of this map and use it for your own projects, or you can download it from my website. The link to download this map is under this video in the description. So yeah, good luck. Good luck with your projects. Get back to work.